welcome to Nuts Together. This is our show about the nuts and bolts of community building. Each episode, we're going to talk with people who have built communities about just how they did it. How did they get the first people to show up? How did they grow to thousands more members? We're going to talk to some rad people, like Lola Omolola. She started a private Facebook group for Nigerian women called Female in Nigeria, and today it has 1.7 million members and 28 moderators.
This is something that had mattered to me all of my life. And there I was. I wasn't just finding people who were like me. I was finding people who were passionate about what was passionate to me, that I had been alone worrying about and thinking about. And suddenly, it was validation everywhere I turned that people wanted to talk about these things that we were raised with a pinch and shush to shut up about.
We're going to talk to Hector Espinal, who started Rue Crew, a run group in Uptown in New York City.
When I went out by myself, the couple times that I did, I would run a couple blocks and then I say, and then just start walking and or sometimes just even turn back like, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. But when you have a group of friends, it's really, really hard to not do something. You have people that are holding you accountable. You have someone you can talk to. You have a support system.
We're going to talk to Nobu Adelman, who started Choir in Toronto, where big groups of people come together with strangers to sing.
People were so excited after the first night that we ended up doing it every Tuesday for the next year.
We're going to talk to Joe Thompson, who started the Rose City Riveters, the cutting-edge female fan group for women's soccer.
Does the group make everyone generous? Was it generous people that came to it? I don't know, but I will say that I've never met so many selfless people in my life.
And we're going to talk to Dan Madsen. He's the founder and organizer of the very first Star Wars celebration, where fans get together in person, and also the head of the Star Wars fan club. At one point, he had more than 100 employees working for the fan club and was making over $20 million in revenue.
Star Wars was still this magical thing from my youth that I never imagined I would ever become involved with. So to get the opportunity to meet George Lucas and talk about taking over the Star Wars fan club was mind-boggling to me.
These people are all people who have built something with a community, not for an audience, not at an audience, not for customers. They've worked together with a group of people to build something extraordinary. So why are we interviewing these rad people? Why do we give a damn about community? I'll tell you a little bit about us. Each of us, Kai, Kevin, and I, have had the experience of building something phenomenal with a group of passionate people, not for them or at them. That sense of being in it with a group of people we think is really at the center of a community. I was one of the first employees at Instagram, number 8 or something like that, and I worked on the community team. I met Kai there. He had opened the Facebook office in Canada, and before that had worked with some of eBay's power sellers, the early folks selling Pez dispensers and collectibles, and great stories there, more to come. And then I met Kevin when I moved to New York City at the IDEO office here.
Go Kevin.
Go Kev. Kev, you were the first employee at Creative Mornings, which is, if you don't know it, Google it, kind of like TEDx without the TED. Grassroots Radness. You want to?
Yeah, Grassroots Radness.
Grassroots Radness. Took it from 3 cities to about 100. And you've worked in grassroots education and also led, very memorably, the campus events back in your Cal days.
Go Superb. you know, it was called Superb, which was actually an acronym, which stood for the Student Union Programming Entertainment Recreation Board.
Wow. That's a huge...
That's clearly one of those things where you choose like the word and then you make it into an acronym later.
Like scuba?
Like scuba sounds like swimming around. What could it mean? Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
Yeah, so anyway, we all had these different experiences, and then...
we joined forces as people and company because we wanted to spend more time with communities, meet more members, help more of them, and really synthesize what we learn from building communities. You know, I think our goal as a company is really just to help more people start and cultivate authentic communities. That could be as small as, a run crew to as big as a giant activist network. More communities in the world makes the world a better place. So we'll be publishing a book about what we've learned next year. We're working on that. And in the meantime, we're going to share some of our research conversations with you here on the podcast.
So that's what we do for work and what we've done for work. But our kind of ethos is always about, one, people first, and two, weirdness. Indulge the weird.
Curiosity. So I like to call curiosity.
Yeah. So to introduce each of us, I would like to ask Kai and Kevin, and I will indulge this myself, 3 questions.
Ooh.
So could each of you please tell me the town that you grew up in and what it's famous for? Pick one thing. I would also like to know how many siblings you have and their names. This is totally team one of us up. And please also pick one hobby / thing you care about most outside of work. And this is like the thing that you cannot stop talking about. When someone meets you for the first time, they're like, holy crap, this guy just talked me to death about this thing. What is that for you? And just very quickly, 1 sentence why you like it. Okay, Kai, you ready? The town you grew up in, how many siblings you have in their names, and your big thing outside of work.
You're not setting us up for success. You just said, what is the thing that you can't stop talking about? And then tell us 1 sentence about why you like it.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to like set expectations here.
Shaved ice. Yummy. Go. All right. Go, El.
Yeah.
I grew up in Manila, and it is the densest city in the world. We are stacked up and down, packed. But what we're famous for really is like, I think it's like halo-halo.
Oh, what's
down
halo-halo?
to the shaved ice theme. Yes. It is shaved ice with a touch of preserved fruits and beans, topped up with evaporated milk and some ube ice cream. If you don't know what that is,
get on it.
Don't Google it. Just go find someplace to
We don't
try
want you
it
as a
and taste
listener
it.
if
It
you
is
don't know.
Purple, yum. I am one of 5 boys.
Ow.
I am the eldest.
Big round of applause for Kai's mom. That's a lot of work.
She wanted a girl. She kept on trying. So the one backstory that you don't know about the names of my siblings, don't know? Yeah, it was designed. Yeah,
all access.
The names were designed so that my father, who is Chinese, could pronounce the names.
Huh.
So
your mom didn't have an issue with it? She's just Filipina. She's not Filipina Chinese.
She could pronounce any of those names.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
it's Eric, Elvin, Erlen, and Elson.
Ooh.
Yeah, all with E's. As born, my name is Elmer.
Your born
I
name.
use born name, birth name, and I use Kai every so often.
Yeah.
My alter ego.
Yeah, we will switch back and forth too to just
Sorry about
confuse
that.
listeners.
By the way, it's all downhill from there with the sibling question. That's the peak.
That's a peak.
All right. And Kai, what would you say is the big hobby thing you care about outside of work that we wouldn't know otherwise?
I love taking photographs of people's mundane moments. I want the photograph to be at its worst today when I've shown it to you, but it's going to be significant 15, 20, 25 years later when I've captured that thing that you do mindlessly every single day, and someday it'll be momentous, I hope. So I just talk about that endlessly.
Yeah. And you should check it out too. You can Google Kai Elmer Soto, see his photographs. They're beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, Kev. Let's hit it. Where are you from? Tell me about your siblings and their names and your big hobby.
So I was born in San Jose, California, but I consider myself bred in Niwot, Colorado. N-I-W-O-T. It's to win spelled backwards.
Whoa! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We're learning so much.
It's named after Chief Left Hand, Chief Niwot, which is an American Indian chief. But that's a small town, Colorado, near Boulder. It's well known for Kevin Huynh. Myself, it's well known as the birthplace of Crocs.
That's the shoe. That is what you think it is.
That's
Yeah.
Not just a shoe,
foam
the shoe.
that you could eat if you had to survive. I think maybe that's a rumor. How many siblings do I have? I have one. Go Jeff Huynh, living up in Buffalo with his new son.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey Jeff, he's 6 years older. He's a wonderful human being.
He is. I can vouch.
Yes. And what's the last one?
The last one is, what's the hobby that you care about the most outside of work?
I have various hobbies. The one that comes to mind with as far as like I just talk people's ears off is actually personal finance.
Whoa,
I know. You might,
unexpected.
but I've just had a couple experiences lately where, like, a friend will be like, "Hey, like, kind of embarrassed, but I'm trying to figure out like just how to start saving for retirement now," and I'll be like, "Oh, blah!" Just because I don't know. I somehow got really passionate about it by sort of stumbling into a personal finance course in college and just like, I don't know, developing this fighting spirit that like Wall Street and the man is out there just to make money off of you rather than with you,
Sounds like another podcast.
Exactly. And there are, we write in our book about this community, Bogleheads, for instance, which is like this amazing personal finance community where people are helping each other. And it's very much based on just like keeping costs low, not trying to time the market, anyway, I'm already going too far into this. But basically, I think money is so important, and people
Money is power.
are often like duped out of or not even provided the opportunity to save and like use it effectively, and that knowledge is so important. So whenever someone asks me, I'm not an expert, but I read some books, I've crawled the internet, and I just like vomit all over them with like, please let me help you. I had one Lyft driver that was like, this was the best Lyft I've ever had, because I just like,
Oh my God.
spewed at him my
I love
entire
that.
investment philosophy, and he was just like trying to take notes on his like phone
We
while he
should
was driving
interview
me.
you and record this. You can put it on your website. Give it away.
Give it away. Yeah, I probably should.
Maybe. Cool. That's great. That's unexpected, I have to say.
Oh. Okay, so I can turn it back on you.
Yeah.
Hey, Bailey,
Hey,
tell me
Carl.
about the town you grew up in, and what is it famous for?
Yeah. Okay. Well, my town that I grew up in is called, if you said it in Spanish, Los Gatos, but we all say it like white people because it's in California, and we say Los Gatos.
Yes.
That's where I grew up.
So
it
the
means the
cats.
cats. And I think it's famous. I'm totally cheating, but it's kind of famous for two things. One is the inventor of the pet rock is from Los Gatos. And if you don't know what that is, it's literally a pet rock. So it's pretty funny. And the other thing, this is kind of strange, but there's a mysterious albino community in Los Gatos. And like people will ask me about it that I've never met before. Like in college, a few people, I told them where I was from, and they're like, there's an albino community there. And I don't really know anything about it. Maybe I'm spreading fake news right now. So if anyone who's listening is like, Bailey, you're full of shit, please let me know. But that is like something that every once in a while someone will be like, oh, there's an albino community in the mountains there. And like some weird old like media has spread that information.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, I'd say that's what it's famous for.
Tell me about your siblings.
My siblings, my older brother, who is older in age and younger in spirit. Hello, Perry. His name is Perry. He is great. He and I are very different, but we love each other deeply. And
He races cars.
He races cars. Yeah, he's a great mechanic. If you need any tips, let me know. I can give you his email. Okay, last thing. God, this is a fun one. What's the hobby thing I care the most about outside of work? Right now, it's the WNBA, and you guys know that. I think that they're the most undertapped thing in culture right now. Like women, people of color, queer people, like everything about it is something that culture is so ready to support right now. And these women are massively underpaid, under-resourced, understaffed. And I just think there's like so much we can do to turn that around in the next like 5 years. And I really want to help with doing that. But I just started an Instagram account, and I've been going through buying old ABL and WBL jerseys and Cheryl Swoop's old shoes. And like, anyway, so I'm pretty into the WNBA
More
right
to
now.
come on that.
Yeah. All right. That's enough about us. A few things to know about this podcast. You're going to be hearing a lot of my voice. I'll be the main host. Kevin will be there a lot, kind of sidekicking, kind of adding a little flavor.
Yeah.
Kai, you live in Singapore, so we won't hear from you as much, but you're kind of like our celebrity guest.
I'll come in and out.
With that sexy voice.
We'll just have a recording of your voice. We'll play at certain times.
Yeah,
Maybe there's
just
a key question
the
you
same
have.
When you
clip.
miss me,
It's like, what's the metric that matters for your company? Boom.
represent.
Retention. Oh, sorry, tech language. Okay, we will also be publishing new episodes kind of as we interview people. So this isn't going to be one of those podcasts where we're like building a business and we post this like every week. It's going to be as they come. So expect some inconsistency, which I think hopefully will be fun. We'll see how it goes. And then if you know someone you think that we should interview, please tell us. We are so curious to meet new people who have formed real communities, things that are building with a group of people instead of for them or at them. If you know someone who's done something really cool like that, we want to know them. Send us an email at hi@peopleand.company. That's hi@peopleand.company.
Awesome. That's our URL too. We're not .com, we're .company. So if you want to learn more about People and Company, our little community strategy company /studio / all of our buckets of dreams, go there and you can learn more about us. You can read some articles that, some research articles that we've done from our interviews and find out the other episodes of the podcast.
Cool. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in.
More to come.
More to come.
Bye.